When the United States entered the Second World War in December 1941, it was better prepared than it had been for the First World War, yet its military was not armed with the most advanced equipment of the era. Many Marines in the Pacific still carried the bolt-action M1903 Springfield rifle, as the semi-automatic M1 Garand was in short supply. Likewise, the Grumman F4F Wildcat was a carrier-based fighter developed in the 1930s that was already showing its age. While it was neither the fastest nor the most sophisticated fighter of the war, the rugged Wildcat managed to get the job done in the dark days after Pearl Harbor, serving as the premier fighter for the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps until late 1942. Reflecting the rapid pace of aviation development in the years before World War II, the aircraft that would become the Grumman F4F Wildcat surprisingly began on the drawing board as a biplane. Following its successful F-3F series of carrier fighters, Grumman redesigned the concept in 1936 as the mid-wing XF-4F-1 monoplane. When the U.S. Navy initially selected the competing Brewster F-2A Buffalo, Grumman's designers started anew with the XF-4F-3, equipping it with a more powerful engine, new wings, and a redesigned tail. This proved to be a step in the right direction. In early 1939, the French Naval Air Arm ordered 81 aircraft, and the U.S. Navy followed with an order for 54 fighters in August of the same year. The aircraft destined for France were a fixed-wing variant, powered by a Wright R1820 engine. However, France fell to Germany in June 1940 before the fighters could be delivered. Instead, the order was diverted to the United Kingdom, where the aircraft was designated the Martlet Mark I and entered service with the Royal Navy's Fleet Air Arm. Outfitted with superior 50 caliber Browning machine guns in the wings, the Martlet had its baptism of fire on December 25, 1940, shooting down a German Ju-88 bomber. Impressed with its performance, London ordered additional folding wing versions. This led to a confusing designation system where the first 10 fixed-wing aircraft of a new batch were designated Mark III, entering service before the definitive folding wing Mk2 was delivered between August 1941 and early 1942. The F4F was well suited to the Royal Navy's small escort carriers, first operating from HMS Audacity. Due to the carrier's rapid conversion from a captured German merchant ship, it had no hangar, and all 6 of its aircraft were stored on the flight deck. During its brief service escorting Atlantic convoys, a Martlet from HMS Audacity shot down a German Focke-Wulf FW-200 Condor bomber before the carrier was sunk in December 1941. Through the Lend-Lease Act, the UK continued to receive improved versions of the aircraft. In January 1944, the Royal Navy officially adopted the American Wildcat designation, applying it retroactively to all Martlet variants. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, the Wildcat became the frontline carrier fighter for the U.S. Navy. It was stationed aboard carriers like the USS Enterprise and USS Saratoga. During the attack, 9 aircraft of Marine Fighter Squadron VMF-211 were destroyed on the ground, but just days later on December 9, 1941, Marine aviators flying the F-4F shot down their first Japanese bomber. Dogfights involving the Wildcat at Wake Island, the Battle of the Coral Sea, and the Battle of Midway became legendary. U.S. pilots quickly learned a crucial lesson: do not engage the highly maneuverable Mitsubishi A6M Zero in a traditional dogfight. Instead, they developed tactics like the thatch weave and used the Wildcat's superior durability and firepower to make high-speed diving attacks on Japanese bombers. As the Smithsonian's National Airspace Museum notes, the Zero could outmaneuver the F-4F, but the Wildcat's heavy armament and solid construction gave it an advantage when flown by skilled pilots. Though not the best fighter of the war, several pilots flying the Wildcat performed incredible feats of heroism, earning the nation's highest honor. Captain Henry Elrod. While defending Wake Island on December 11, 1941, Captain Elrod scored a direct hit on the Japanese destroyer Kisaragi, sinking it with all 157 crew members. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, the first aviator to receive it in World War II. Lieutenant Edward Butch O'Hare. On February 20, 1942, Lieutenant O'Hare shot down 5 Japanese bombers in 5 minutes near Rabaul, becoming the U.S. Navy's first ace of the war and earning the Medal of Honor. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport is named in his honor. Major John L. Smith. During the Guadalcanal campaign, Major Smith of VMF 223 led his squadron from the recently captured Henderson Field. He became the third Wildcat pilot to receive the Medal of Honor, ultimately being credited with downing 19 Japanese aircraft. While Grumman developed the Wildcat, the majority of the 7,885 aircraft produced were manufactured by General Motors' Eastern Aircraft Division. This shift allowed Grumman to focus on developing and producing the more advanced F6F Hellcat. General Motors also developed an improved version, the FM2. Based on the XF4 F8 prototype, the FM2 was lighter, featured a more powerful 1,350 horsepower engine, and had a larger tail for improved stability. With 4,777 units built, the FM2 became the most numerous variant of the Wildcat, with the last one rolling off the assembly line in August 1945. By the end of World War II, more capable fighters had superseded the Wildcat in frontline service. However, its contributions during the critical battles of 1942, from the Coral Sea to Midway and Guadalcanal, were indispensable. It also saw action during Operation Torch in North Africa and with the Royal Navy in the Indian Ocean. The F4F Wildcat may not have been the best fighter of the war, but it was the aircraft America had in its darkest hour. In the hands of skilled and courageous pilots, it was a fearsome beast that held the line when it mattered most.